Hey everyone, Heroic Coffee here, and today we're going to be talking about the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered games. Now, what are the Pixel Remasters? Final Fantasy 1 through 6 getting some special treatment. We're talking graphics, audio, all that jazz, and these are supposed to be the pinnacle versions of these games. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Are they worth your money? Are they better than previous versions? What do they include? What do they not include? So let's begin. Also, if you do like this video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. This is my second video on the channel, so I'm still pretty new to all this. We do stream every week, like 4 days a week over at Twitch. Currently, we're playing through Octopath Traveler, and that game is amazing. If you like old school Final Fantasy stuff, you're really gonna like Octopath Traveler, so definitely come check that out if you want. Okay, so let's begin. Pixel Remasters. This will only be available on Steam, iOS, and Android. Now, this kind of sucks. My heart goes out to all the console gamers out there. I would have loved a console port of these games. I think it's a missed opportunity by Square. I just want to point that out there. So you can pick up all the games separately for their individual prices, and prices do differ based on which game you want, or you can pick them all up in a bundle. If you pick them all up in a bundle, it says 12 items on Steam. What that essentially means is a game. So obviously you got 6 games, and then for each of those games, you have like some like little, not DLC, but like I think they each come with like 2 wallpapers and like 4 soundtracks each, I think. So the 12 items are the 6 games and the wallpapers and soundtracks. So if you're confused what the 12 items mean, that's what that means. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about Final Fantasy 1 through 3 and then 4 through 6. And there'll be a reason for that, which we'll discuss later. But before we get into 1 through 3, let me just talk a little about some of the stuff that I'm excited for this remaster series. Now, it says the OST, the soundtrack, is overseen by Uematsu, not actually recomposed or redone. So overseen is a very vague term, but in my eyes, if it's good enough for Uematsu, it's good enough for me. Now, it's worth noting that these are faithful remasters based on original versions of the games. So any bonus content that's come out in previous ports of these games, so for instance, Final Fantasy 1 and 2 had really big updated versions come out on the PlayStation Portable, and these, to this day, are considered the best versions of those games, just because of all the bonus content. These games in this Pixel Remastered series will not have that bonus content. So the extra dungeons, the extra bosses, and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. These remasters are going to be faithful to the original versions of the games. Final Fantasy 1 through 3. Final Fantasy 1 looks really good, and I'm going to put some screenshots on screen. The one that kind of stood out to me was the heroes all looking off at Corneria, and yeah, that just looks so good. My gripe here is that the PSP version of Final Fantasy 1 is really good. And it has bonus content, it has bonus bosses, the audio's great, the graphics are great, and is this going to surpass that one? I don't know. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 are essentially in the same boat because they both got the same treatment on the PSP. And they're really good versions of the games. Like, if you want to play them, like, right now, like, as in before these Pixel Remaster games come out, these are, like, the best ones. So are they going to be overshadowed by the Pixel Remasters? Who knows? Are people still going to play the PSP ones because of the bonus content that you don't get in these versions? Maybe. Final Fantasy 2 looks pretty similar. And again, you know, it had a lot of bonus content in the PSP one. Is it going to be on par? Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? I have a feeling that the bonus content in Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on the PSP are gonna hold up, and I don't know, I'll probably still get these versions just because I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind when you're buying these games. Next up, Final Fantasy 3. Now, this is a biggie. Now, the current main version of Final Fantasy 3 is the good chibi one. And I say good chibi because we'll be talking about some chibi stuff later. And that's the bad chibi stuff. But this is the good chibi. You know, Final Fantasy 3 got a full remake from the ground up with like new assets and stuff like that. And the current main version of this right now, before these Pixel Remasters, is pretty good. This is how I played Final Fantasy 3. I don't really mind the Chibi one, but this, again, like all the games, all the 6 games that encompass this Pixel Remaster, will be faithful to the original. Final Fantasy 3 was also the birth of the iconic job system as well. Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster is one that I'm really, really looking forward to. Now, Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, I'm just going to kind of talk about in general and not really talk about 4, then 5, then 6. And that's because release dates for 1, 2, and 3 have come out. It's the 28th of July. Yeah, the reason I'm saying that is because 4, 5, and 6 don't have a release date yet, which is kind of weird that they're not all coming out at the same time, yet they're bundled together. But yeah, so that's all that we've really got to work with. So whilst I talked about 1, then 2, then 3, Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, I'll kind of just go over as a whole. There are some screenshots. There's a screenshot of FF6 where you've got Terra and Biggs and Wedge looking over at Nosh, and it looks really, really good. You can actually see the city underneath, and it just looks phenomenal, and I am very excited to play that version of Final Fantasy VI. So on both iOS, Android, and Steam, when these games all come out, they will essentially be replacing all of the really, really shit ports that got ported over to these systems. So that's a really good thing, because those games, like, as of right now, just are trash and they're really bad. So when these games come out, it's gonna do everyone a favor and get rid of those bad ones and replace them with the good Pixel Remaster ones. So am I excited about these? I am excited about these. The modding potential, you know, with the Steam versions, I'm really excited about that. We have Steam achievements as well. I don't want to go back and just replay them all just for the achievements. I think that'll be really fun, and you know, these will be really good versions of the games, both with graphics and audio. Speaking of graphics, 1 through 6 will now be in 16:9 HD. I have been waiting for this for years, and the only thing that would make these games better for me is if they had all the bonus content of the other ports, which sadly, again, we're not getting with these. But maybe that's just too much to ask, you know? Now, do these games look good? Yes. Could they look better? Yes, I think so. I was really hoping for something like this, like a 1 through 6, where it gets remastered and stuff like that. But I was kind of hoping for an Octopath situation, where all the games get really fleshed out, you know, since it's been a while since they originally came out. Or, you know, maybe not Octopath, but like the same treatment that Dragon Quest 3 is getting right now. Just something. I feel like these are really good, but I feel like they could be a smidge bit better. However, the Pixel Remasters, just in case it wasn't obvious from this video, are a vast improvement over what we have currently on places like Steam and iOS and Android. The downsides are no console, no plans for console, which really, really suck. I think Square missed a really big mark on this one. Having this come out on console would have been game-changing. So to summarize, I think that Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 5, and Final Fantasy 6 are going to be like hot picks. Like, you essentially can't get these games looking as good as they are in this, you know, series of remaster, the Pixel Remaster. They look phenomenal. 3, 5, and 6. What I'm kind of worried about is 1, 2, and 4. Not really so much 4. Currently 4 has some really good versions, but 1 and 2, they look really good. Like, it sucks because you can only play them on a PSP or maybe like an emulator, but they look amazing and they sound amazing as is right now. And, you know, they have bonus content to boot. So maybe 1 and 2 isn't an insta-buy, but for me, 3, 5, and 6 are insta-buys. And then 1, 2, and 4 already have some really good versions out there right now. So that's essentially my hot take on it. And with that said, that wraps up today's video. Let me know down in the comments. Are you going to pick them up? Are you going to pick them all up? Are you going to pick none of them up? Are you going to cherry cherry pick. I'm still on the fence. I'll probably cave and get them all. Very excited to know your thoughts as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like and also subscribe as well to the channel. As I said previously, we are playing Octopath Traveler right now on Twitch, twitch.tv/officialheroiccoffee. We're like 65 hours in now, I think. We're getting to some end game stuff. So if you like Final Fantasy and you've never seen Octopath, yeah, come check us out. Come check us out. We have a lot of fun. I've been Heroic Coffee, and I will catch you later.